Welcome back to Pikkit Sports. Happy Thursday. If you're watching this right now, make sure to like and subscribe because today we have a better guest. I'm not going to say better guest, but a great guest. We have Rob Gucci, aka Heat Daddy, 69420 on Twitter if you want to go follow him. If you're not following him, you're missing out. It's probably the best content I've ever seen on the internet. And if I have to explain who this man is I'm interviewing today, I'm going to do it in a tweet because he's all over Twitter. And do you mind if I call you Robert, or what would you prefer?
Whatever you want, man. Yeah, Rob's good, Robert's good, doesn't matter.
Well, just to bring up, you had a tweet, and I'm going to read it off for you. I think you know the image that is affiliated with this tweet. But it says, never forget when our Uber driver came up to my buddy's apartment to play Jaeger Bomb Mario Kart with us, and I found him Tua Tagovailoa drunk on the bathroom floor the next day. Guy was such a beauty. Don't worry, though, he was okay. Never go full Tua. Never go full Tua. Can you explain what happened to us in this tweet?
All right, so there's a little bit of there's truth in that tweet, but also that picture is the wrong picture. So did an Uber driver actually play Jaeger Bomb Mario Kart with us? Yes, but that picture is from something else. But he actually did pass out in our bathroom like that. It was just, wait, you want me to explain the tweet, right?
Wait, that's your Uber driver? That's that picture? Or is that of you?
No, that's not me. That's of a different guy.
Okay.
The scenario did happen. So the scenario did happen. We had an Uber driver, and I don't know, it was just one of those nights where we had a couple, it got away from us, and we were talking about playing Jaeger Bomb Mario Kart in the car. And he was like, what the hell is that? And we're like, come play with us. So this guy ended up just getting absolutely plastered and passing out in our house. And that'll happen when you mix Jägermeister, Red Bull, and, Mario Kart. You can't go wrong. So, yeah, he was okay. I just wanted to calm everyone down because it looked it was a bad situation. It looked like it was a bad situation, but I normally don't invite strangers into the house, but that was a one-off instance.
I just don't know about that last thing. I don't invite strangers into the house. He looked comfortable, man. He looked like he was gonna have a good night's sleep. You had an extra bed for him, and Jaeger Mario Kart might be a thing there. I think you are the only man to get an Uber, and then that Uber had to take an Uber because they ended up just partying with you. That is incredible. That is unreal. Well, also, if I had to explain, we're about to tell you some great bets on this episode. I brought in an NHL expert, and I will call you that, Mr. Gucci, because you are. I've seen it. You know your stuff. You bet with emotion. I'm not talking ESPN right now. You're not going to give me the chalk plays. And I've had some people on here who have bet the NFL, college football. We're getting smoked. So this week we're going to the ice. I brought my expert on. He's going to give us the plays. But before we do that, I have to ask. You tweet a lot that the current sitting administration keeps letting you get to Friday. Every single time they bless you with getting to Friday. And you cause some havoc on Saturday and Sunday. So when you go into the weekends, I've seen you tweet that you want college football winners. You want NFL winners because you are giving out NHL winners. So you just want the return. I got your picks for you today, but at the end of the day, what is your worst gambling story? Because I've heard your worst Uber story. I want your down bad, Vegas, hungover, can't buy a flight home story.
Yeah, I have a pretty gnarly one. I bet on an NBA over, and it was so bad. It was just terrible. I was actually so worked up about it because I put a lot of money. Now, one thing I like to do, and I don't know if this is just in my DNA, I tend to live beyond my means. I have no really sense of a dollar. I do, but I can't stop having fun. A lot of people say it's not a substance abuse addiction. It's addiction having fun. Yep. Now, when I'm in Vegas, it goes to the next level. So I put a lot of money. I mean, money to make me. I have no business putting on. I'm not going to say how much, but on an NBA over. It was so bad. They took out the starters. And they put in the bench, and I was so heated about it. I actually ended up leaving the sports book. I go to the hotel gym, and I started walking on the treadmill because I'm like, I gotta like alleviate this stress. Like I just need to exercise. So I'm like checking on my app. This isn't that cool of a story, but I'm checking on my app, and the bench just starts going off. Like they're just making it rain threes. I'm just like, dude, what the hell is going on? So I leave the gym. I go back to the sports book, and it was on pace to hit the over. And at the end of the game, there was like there had to be 3 or 4 turnovers, like loose ball turnovers, foul shots that were missed, and I lost, and it was just gut wrenching. Just because I was in it, I wasn't in it, then I was in it, then I went back to not being in it, and yeah, that was a real tough one. And I actually ended up taking out a line of credit to go play roulette with. Because I didn't have any money left in my checking account. So this is like a decade ago, but which never take out a line of credit. If you're at that point, just stop. But like I said earlier, kind of living beyond my means there. And yeah, that was probably the one that pops up the most in my head when it comes to how down bad I was. Yeah, I think my hairline got pushed back at least a couple, maybe an inch because of that one. That was tough.
Do you bet college sports?
I'm streaky. Like when the NCAA starts for football, I'll be all over it for a couple weeks. Then NHL starts after that, so I switch to NHL. So yeah, it depends. March Madness, I've had a lot of. I'll tell you this one real quick. March Madness, I'm on a 2-year hiatus, not betting it because a kid. It was like a Duke spread. They were like minus 27.5. And some kid on the other team, I don't remember which team, they hit a random 3-point shot from like half court to ruin the spread. I think it's 2-3 years ago. And I said, all right, that's it for me. So I'm officially on a holdout from NCAA college basketball. But to answer your question, yeah, I do.
The season just started like a week ago, and you're done?
Yeah, it's too inconsistent for me, man. You just never know with those guys. March Madness is fun. I like the atmosphere around it, but man, it's hard to bet on stuff where you're not fully dialed in with, who's the sharpshooter on St. Mary's, you know what I mean? Like you never know. And kids come out of the woodworks all the time in that tournament. So it's I'll probably bet March Madness, but overall, yeah, I don't know. I'm streaky with it.
See, you're betting the marquee games. The key to college is you always go for the crumbs. You got to be betting Prairie View. If you're betting Prairie View at 10 a.m. versus Texas A&M Commerce, not Texas A&M, Texas A&M Commerce, that's where the money's made. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna get you hooked on it. But I've seen some of your videos. If you guys haven't seen his videos, you got to go check them out. But you did have a match that I have to hear about at the Wynn Golf Course. That is a golf course I want to play so bad. You played Biz, correct?
Yep, Biz and Whitney. Yeah, Ryan Whitney.
Okay, so I have a game where I do, me and my friends play for a red, white, and blue American flag jacket. And it's called, the Beer Masters. And every single beer you drink, you get a stroke off your score. But that's a tough game because if you get drunk or you're drinking more beers, to bring down your score, but then you're hitting 10s, you're hitting 12s on holes. Was there any of that in that game?
Oh, yeah. I don't remember anything after the turn on the 9th hole. It was that, our tee time was at 6 in the morning. So it's like I was actually in the Caesars lobby bar probably around 4:30 in the morning. And I was like, oh, my God, we got to film this golf match at 6 in the morning. So I was coming into it, just way too many drinks in me. The bartender at the Caesar bar, he was like he used to be a correctional officer in a prison. So he had a ton of stories. And as I was listening to this guy's stories, I was just chopping up with this guy for hours. I didn't realize how much I was drinking. So I went into the match like a little bit under the influence. And yeah, that definitely became an issue around the 9th hole. And I actually didn't remember how it finished up. I had to ask because Biz and Whit were in a group chat, and they were just like, yeah, crazy ending to this. It was a crazy ending. I didn't even know what happened. So it was a bit of a mess there. But hell of a course. And those guys, yeah, it was a huge opportunity to play with those guys. And, yeah, it was fun. But, yeah, it got and the heat, man. It was like 105 degrees out when it started getting to, 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning. Oh, yeah, it was right in the middle of summer. So it was a lot of adversity, a lot of variables. I think the cart girl was giving me double shots because I was kind of hitting on her a little bit. I don't know if she liked it or not. Probably not, but she was a really nice lady. And, yeah, it got out of control. But that's why, that's all the fun in it. So it was good.
After hearing that, we would love to extend an offer for you to officially play in our Beer Masters 2025. You will be getting your box here soon because, we have to have you in it. It sounds like you're the piece our tournament was missing. But I have to, so you started off with content, and did you just start with Twitter? Did you start with TikTok, or how did you get into this space of just talking NHL?
I had a parody account. I started in 2012, so I was playing junior hockey, and I started this parody account, and I ended up getting a real job, and and kind of ditching the content stuff. And then while I was working, I was still tweeting like the funny things I was doing, and I never really had a filter. And it just kept rolling and gaining steam. And in the hockey world, I didn't play professionally or anything, but I kind of knew the ins and outs of everything about the lifestyle and hockey in general. I mean, I moved away from home to play hockey. I did everything you can do besides be good to make it. I just wasn't good enough. But I think that resonated with the hockey community because it's a pretty buttoned up community. Hockey, they're very, it's a lot of team first, and that's good. But I would definitely I don't want to say report, but I would definitely talk about hockey in a way that no one else did, and I think people liked it because it was just real and kind of in your face, and there was no, like I said, no filter for me. And yeah, and I just got fortunate enough where people were paying attention to what I was saying, and yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I just kept going, and here I am, 12 years later. So yeah.
Well, what's crazy is how much the commentating game has changed for the NHL. And like, I mean, it used to be older men, very professional, still how sports kind of are. But after Biz got in the industry, he's the Pat McAfee of the NHL right now. Or, Pat McAfee's the Biz of the college football. But I think like commentators like you coming up through the rankings just from tweeting, making content, engaging with people, showing that people want to just watch you, and you kind of make the sport even that much better. Can we see a future of you doing that possibly?
Yeah, absolutely. Biz was the first guy I ever followed on Twitter. He was actually the reason why I got the app in the first place. So to do what he's done, it's pretty remarkable. Like his post-career, that's never been done in hockey the way he's done it. But yeah, definitely, man. I think I'm knowledgeable enough for the game, and I think the only thing I have to do is kind of maybe tone back those tweets when I might be on a little bit of a bender. That's kind of bit me in the backside before. I had a little gig set up where I was going to do some broadcasting, but there were some obstacles to get through because some of my tweets, and I get it. I know the party references and stuff like that. You can't always do it, but yeah, man, that would be something I love to do. I love to talk about the game, comment on the game, and the way I do it, I think no one else really does it like that, and yeah, I think for sure, yeah, definitely. I'm always all ears, man. I'll listen to any opportunity, really.
Dude, well, I mean, just from you, from watching your Twitter, your videos, I was like, I would love to see this guy on. I would think you'd be perfect for like a Scott Hansen. They called it the Frozen Red Zone or the Frozen Four, or whatever you guys did
Fury,
for that.
yeah.
Yeah, if you did that, oh man, I'm telling you, you guys would change the game. So I'm rooting for you, man. I don't got the connections to get you there, but listen, your Twitter, you tone it back a bit, but that's the thing, you can't tone it back. Like everyone looks to you and they're like, it's Friday. I can't believe they let him make it to Friday. So I say you stay true to it. But speaking of the NHL, I need plays so bad. I'm down horrendous, and I know it's because of college football. But I don't care. I'm still going to continue to bet it. I got some plays for you because I know Saturday's going to come. You're going to be a little bit down on the beer. You're not maybe want to crack one, but you're going to. And that's where you're going to tweet out, I need some winners, but I already gave them to you right now. So in return, I'm just asking for a little bit of NHL winners.
Yeah, my first one, Devils Capitals. I always take the over, and those two teams play each other. It's very high scoring. I think it's going to be at 6.5. Even though Ovechkin's out, those teams play more of a wide open game, and I love the fact that it's at 5:00. A lot of the games on the Saturday slate are earlier. I think now when I'm betting NHL, I kind of take a different avenue. I'm looking for what are the teams where they have the most single guys. Now, the reason why that is are they young? Are they single? They're more likely to go out the night before, which means they're probably not going to be too responsible on the rink, which means goals. So in a team like the Avalanche, for example, they're playing Florida. Those two teams, they're buttoned up. Both those locker rooms, they're counting their macros. They're watching what they eat. They'll maybe have a glass of wine at dinner. I don't like betting them. Teams like the Devils and Capitals, I'm not saying they're booze bags, but those are teams that, they have young guys in the team. There's a lot of single guys. You got to do your research. They want to go out. They want to have a couple. So I love that over. That's one that I'm definitely going to take. Two high-flying offenses, by the way. They're both averaging. I mean, I'm pretty sure Capitals are averaging like 4 goals a game. So Another one is the Jets money line. It's going to be juice, but the reason why is because I don't like when the Predators win because they need to rename the name of that team. I don't support Predators in any way, shape, or form. So I love when a group of Predators lose. No disrespect to any guy on that team. Jets money line.
Wait, what
Another
would you
game I
name
really
them if
like
you could
is
rename right now?
what's that?
You get the rename right now. What is it?
Oh man, it's got to be something country music related. I don't know, man. The first thing that came to my head was actually the Spurs because of the boots, but there's already a San Antonio Spurs, so I don't know. Put me on the spot. I don't know. Maybe like the Nashville six strings. I don't know, and just have a big guitar across the chest with six strings on it. I don't know. I think it just can't be the Predators. It just doesn't feel right, especially what's going on in 2024 with Diddy and everything like that. Like you can't glorify Predators. So
No, not at all. And they say you're not. They say that you're controversial. You're out here doing the Lord's work. Come on, that's
yeah,
awesome.
I'm even
Let's
trying
put
to
that
get
in.
I'm trying to get the Carolina Hurricanes team renamed. They're glorifying Hurricanes. It's like Hurricanes are bad. Let's get rid of this name. Let's make it the Carolina. I don't know. That one's a tough one. The
Yeah,
Carolina. I don't know. But
You go to
another one I
Tampa
really
and say
like.
we're naming a team a Hurricane. They're offended. That's not cool.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Got to get rid of those two names. I don't know what's going on in the Southeast Conference there. But another game, and I actually don't know the line on it right now, is Bruins money line against Detroit. I think with Monty getting fired, which I'm not a fan of, Boston's a resilient group. They're gonna go on a little bit of a streak. I think the players from my sources, the players liked Montgomery. So when you lose a coach you like, and I've been through it, but at a very lower level of hockey in the NHL, you kind of band together and be like, hey, like let's win hockey games here because it brings the group a little tighter. So I like them against the Red Wings. They're on the road. I'm going to take Bruins money line. And other than that, I think that's it. I think that's the only hockey ones I have for that. But I do have a couple UFC I wanted to run by you.
Wow.
I don't know if that's yeah.
Wow. No, I mean, before we get into the UFC, I just got to say, this isn't ESPN. This show is not ESPN, all right? That was a beautiful analysis. I don't care about, the average points. They have this. It doesn't matter. When puck's on ice, all that goes out the door. But what does matter, are they hungover? Are they worried that their girlfriend was at Fiji's frat the night before? Probably for the younger players. I love that. That's the analysis I need because at the end of the day, they're just a bunch of kids. They're just a bunch of kids we're putting money on.
Yeah, I'll tell you the secret to what I like to bet. Like I said, what team has the most single guys on it and the average age? If it's young single guys, I like betting on that team. And I'll give you another example about the Devils-Capitals game. The Devils don't play for 2 more days after that. So when I'm thinking about this, they're probably going to have the next day off. They're probably going to want to go out and have a couple. The Capitals, I think they travel after. I hope I'm right on that. But the Devils, with a couple days off after, with how young they are, with the single guys on that team, they want to win that game, score a lot of goals, and feel good going into Saturday night or after Saturday night's game and be like, hey, we earned this. So that's a big factor for me. I kind of look at all the intangibles.
How many? I mean, you know the ins and outs of hockey. Do they actually go party pretty hard and have a game the next day? Do they do that?
It depends. I think less this day and age. I think when I was coming up, 10 years ago, definitely for sure. But now you have guys they're really dialed in, man. But there's still those guys out there too. You gotta look out for that stuff. Just like teams that have guys that will go out no matter what, you want to bet on them too. Just because, like I said, I always go back to Colorado. Colorado is a very tight knit locker room. They're not eating processed sugar. They're not eating processed foods. They're not eating any sugar. I don't like to bet on them. Too structured, too good defensively. But yeah, I think so. It depends. It depends on the team.
You're out here betting on teams' diets. I love it. Well, I mean, so if you pulled up your Pikkit calendar right now, is it red or green? Because with this analysis, you got to be in the green, right?
I think I'm actually in the green in November. Yeah, I haven't went too hard. I had a really bad UFC day in October, and I took off a couple weeks. But right now, I believe I'm in the green. I think so. Yeah.
You had to take off a couple weeks.
Oh yeah. I took a break. I had a gnarly UFC. I love the UFC. Not to keep talking about UFC, but I love the UFC. But that sport, man, it's just, one punch can change the whole fight, and it's a fight. It's guys cage fighting, so it's a little bit
That's
different
why you
than
love it.
Yeah, yeah,
One
that's why
punch
it's the
can change
best.
the whole fight, and that's
So
when plus 800s are winning. John Jones actually lives about 20 feet from where we're recording this right now. He's
oh,
right.
does he?
We're
What a
out of
legend.
Albuquerque, yeah. So he lives right there. I know they're going to do something when he gets back from wherever he's touring right now. But now we got to know the winners. But I don't need it. I'm going to let you say some UFC. I don't need an October slate from you. I need your November slate. I need the cannot lose, won't lose, not going to hold you to it. They could lose. All your picks right here. Here we go.
All right, UFC, it's just one parlay, and it's Peter Yan money line parlayed with Wang Kong money line. And the Wang Kong money line, I've never seen this woman fight, but her name is unreal. Her name is Wang Kong. You can't lose with a name like that. That's just, I love the name. Peter Yan, great fighter. I think he's been gypped a couple times, man. There's been some bad decisions, and people forget. Just 2 or 3 fights ago, this guy was at the top of the division. I mean, he's a little tank in there. So I think Davison Figueiredo is a great fighter. That's who he's fighting. But people are sleeping on Yan. I know he's a favorite, but I think that guy is just a warrior in there. And since it's minus 320, I believe right now, I'm going to parlay it with Wang Kong because that's a hell of a name. So that's my can't lose.
I'm with you. But I just before we play this, right? Before we put this in, I need you just to think here for a second because I try to envision. I try to hear the commentators. I try to hear Joe Buck announcing the winner. Right? If you can hear it, it's going to happen. So just can you hear this? Hear this out the call. It's Saturday night, right? That's when the fight is.
Yep.
Can you hear? That's just unfortunate. Wayne Kong's a pretty young fighter in this crew, and she was put up against a tough opponent, and that's why you're going to see that because she's not a ground fighter. Or can you hear, wow, Wayne Kong out of nowhere. This is a young, energetic fighter. Which one do you hear? I just gave it to you. Which one?
It's going to be Wang Kong is now 7-0. This was a breeze for her. Put her in the rankings. This was an easy fight, and we knew what to expect. And this girl's a beast at the in the flyweight division, and she's going to stay undefeated. She's undefeated right now, so she's going to stay that way. She's a massive favorite, by the way, but I'm going to take her because of her name. I don't care.
This is a purely name bet. I mean, we call those jersey bets. Where we bet it strictly off the jersey they're wearing because they're like their alternate blues. This is a name bet, and I'm completely with it. So Wayne Kong and who else?
And Peter Yan.
Peter Yan and Wayne Kong.
Yep.
Dude, that's a rhyming parlay.
Man.
I love it.
Lose.
I cannot lose. That's okay. That's going to bring us home because Saturday is going to be a fight. We are parlaying all those NHL plays you just gave me. All right, we're going for gold. We're going for gold here. If this one goes the distance, you are so back. Everyone's back. But I got some college football. Do you watch? I mean, you don't watch a lot of college football?
I haven't recently, but I did coming out of the gate real hot. So I haven't. I've been traveling a little bit. But yeah, I'm always down to throw the games on. If you're taking something, I'm riding it with you, man. We're in this together. There's no turning back now. We got to Friday. We have no choice. We got to do this.
They let us get to Friday, and they even said go to Saturday. They gave us another day. All right. So listen, we're gonna put these in our parlay. I'm placing this for both of us. I'm gonna put 200 on all this parlay. If it hits, we split. We got a deal?
Deal.
All right. So we're taking your NHL picks. We might even throw Wayne Kong in for 2. And so 10 a.m. All right. Well, my time. I don't know where you're at right now. Let's just say you're in California, 9 a.m. You're going to wake up, got a little bit of headache. You're going to crack open a Michelob. You're going to throw this on. It's going to be a blowout. You're like, man, that kid knew what he was talking about. We have Illinois. Is it Illinois or Illinois? I'll never know. But they're going into Rutgers, the Rutgers University. Okay? Ooh. These people, they are blue collar. All they want to do is win a football game. They don't want to go to the playoffs. They just want to get through the season and get some wins. It is conference, so it's going to get tough. And this is also a Vegas bet. All right. Illinois has a number 25 next to them. Don't let them scare you. All right. They're playing the Rutgers. Rutgers is not ranked. We are taking the Rutgers money line. Everyone is like, why is the Illini pretty good? They have a great, no. It's the Rutgers. They're blue collar. They're going to get it done. That's my analysis on that game. And you can't talk me off of it.
No, I love that. Rutgers, they run a tough program over there, man. My brother actually put me on to Rutgers earlier in the year. He's like, they run a tough program, and New Jersey, they just have, even if the players aren't from New Jersey,
Yep.
man, they have that chip. It's contagious. Attitude is contagious. And when you go to New Jersey and you're surrounded by New Jersey people, you got a chip on your shoulder. I love that play. That's awesome. I was hoping you were going to say Rutgers.
We're taking them. And then the second one. This is maybe a little bit personal. I'm not the biggest Shador Sanders guy. I think he has it coming to him. I think they're going to go be the 4th seed in the playoffs. I think they're thinking maybe national championship. No, they're getting shut down this weekend. They're playing Kansas. You tell me if this line sounds fishy. Colorado going into Kansas. Colorado's ranked. They're on a roll. Haven't lost in 8 games. They're playing Kansas, who's 4-8. Wait, 4-6. They're 4-6. Colorado's 8-2. Line is -2.5 for Colorado.
Ooh.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, no. Kansas is another program too. That kind of just. I think they've won their last 2 games. So that's another program where the hype train's got to die down eventually. Is that what we're saying here? That they're gonna lose?
We're taking Kansas.
Yeah, it's kind of like the roulette wheel. It hits black 5 times in a row. You think it's gonna be black 6 times. That's just not how it works. So I'm with you on that. I like that. Defend the turf in Kansas. It's in the middle of America. I think I love it. I really like that.
Just from those 2 picks, though, if you get on Twitter, all right, or X, sorry, if you get on X, and you see the public's eating today, all the public bets are hitting, we're screwed. So just know that we're actually going against the public this weekend, which isn't us, because me and you, I can already tell, we're public guys. We are very public guys. We love the favorites. We love the lines, but not this time. Not this time. We're going against it. Then I'm going to take you to North Carolina, Boston College. I'm going to tell you something about me. You will never, ever see me take an under. I hate it. I do not want to root against no points. I hate sweating till the end of the game. North Carolina, Boston College, they play every single year, and they soar the over every single year. It is the American tradition. It's almost like Budweiser commercials in the Super Bowl. It's that automatic, okay? I'm telling you, don't even watch this game. Just put a check mark, all right? It's already greened out on Pikkit. It's all good. So don't even watch this one. That's just a freebie. Let's throw it in for some more money. We don't even need to go into that one because it's flying over. Numbers 56.5. Last game, I really was like, this is the take me home piece. I can't let this guy down. He's trusting me, okay? Mm-hmm. Tennessee is -41.5. I hate these numbers. I hate them. I know, but Tennessee likes to do one thing very well. It's beat up on bad teams. They don't really like to win the big ball games. That's not of their interest. But if they got a UTEP coming into town, which they do this week, they are going to roll them. I'm talking 71-7. So the over's free too for anyone out there. Tennessee -41.5 against the UTEP Miners. Okay, it's free. It's free. You're gonna be like, how are they up 60-0 at half? Yeah, pull the starters. You play the 3rd string. They're still going to get points. That is our parlay. And I'm telling you, this thing is probably, I'm having my brother punch it in right now. It's going to be upwards of 40,000 plus 40,000 for $200. That's an $80,000 payout.
That's easy.
It's almost free. I'm like, why do they offer this stuff legally in this country? Like, this is robbery. But I'm cool with it because we're going to take it.
Yeah, I love that play. UTEP, who I don't even know who that is. I don't even know Texas, San Antonio. I don't even know where that is. But yeah, I like it. Yeah, man, I like the steam we have here. I think all of our explanations are really logical too. I think I don't know how this can possibly go wrong.
I honestly think they offer us a cash out probably by 11:30 a.m. on Saturday. I think they're going to get some calls from the execs, and they're going to say, hey, we got an issue. There is a parlay out there that is causing our board of execs to start putting in their resumes because our stock is dropping as it goes. So I'm going to put that in for us. We're putting 200 on it. Me and you, we're splitting. And if we win, I might tell you we lost, and I'll keep the whole thing. Right? So who knows? All right. I don't know. We'll see how Saturday goes. But can I get an over/under beer count for you for this weekend?
Ooh, I'm gonna probably have to say, wait, the whole weekend combined.
And you know what? I'm even gonna throw in Thursday night. Let's call that the weekend.
Oh my
because
God.
they basically let you get to Friday.
You know what? Per William Hill, I'm gonna set per William Hill Sportsbook. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on here. They're setting the over under at 39 and a half beers, and I'm gonna say 9.5 drinks liquor. Let's just stick to beer. 39 and a half, and it's minus 200 for the weekend.
Oh man! All right. Well, can you give us just some little advice from your experience of you wake up Saturday, you feel terrible. Your friend's like, "Hey man, you coming over for the early games?" You have to. How do you get it going? How do you recover from? I mean, if you're gonna hit that line from having 10 beers the night before.
It's just all in your head. You know, you just got to look yourself in the mirror and say, "Look, I'm gonna be hungover, but not today. It's not happening today." Well,
How do you
maybe
tell that to
Sunday.
the guy throwing up though? When you're like, "Hey man, it's all in your head."
You just got. I don't know. Maybe you say, "Hey, man, it could have been that Caesar salad you ate last night." You were really weren't. We don't have any proof that this is from alcohol. We really don't. We have no proof. It could have been anything. It could have been the hamachi. It could have been you got the sea bass and they undercooked it a little bit. So at the end of the day, it could have really been anything. And you know, you gotta move forward, and it's just in your head. It's all in your head.
I have to ask you your Android bet of the year. So there's two things that you need to do with this bet. With Pikkit Sports, they obviously work with someone named Book It with Trent. Are you aware of this man?
Yes, I am. Yeah. Shout out Trent.
He is he's the man, but he also is considered the fade god. So I need one NHL team from you this year that you can personally guarantee will not win the Stanley Cup. And if they do, not only do you have to tail Book It with Trent for a whole year, which could be profitable, he still wins sometimes, you also have to exchange your iPhone for an Android, which is going to kill your dating game. Kill your dating game.
Oh,
So
man.
this is big. Take your time. Give us your one NHL play. They will not win the Stanley Cup.
Okay, so I'm gonna be risky, and I'm actually gonna pick a team that will be in the playoffs. I'm not gonna pick something low hanging fruit. I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Wild, and even though the Wild, I just looked it up, they're 12-3. They're not going to win the Stanley Cup because their business model on that team is they get in the first round of playoffs and then they lose. It's strategic. And the players, it gets really nice in Minnesota that time of year. They're too busy focused on the lake houses and going boating and going water skiing. So it's like it's a dangerous thing for the Wild players when it gets to spring in Minnesota. So I'm going to go with the Minnesota Wild just because I'm currently beefing with their front office. Because I feel bad for the people in Minnesota. They're passionate. It's the state of hockey. They're passionate fans, and their team doesn't get over the hump every single year, but you don't hear about it nationally because the market is, first of all, Minnesota people are very nice. Second of all, it's not really that Toronto or Boston or New York City. So I'm going to go with the Minnesota Wild, unfortunately, even though I want the fans to get a championship there, but they're not going to win.
This is dangerous. That's a spite bet. Because you're beefing with their front office. Spite always comes back to bite you. And second of all, that is a decent team. So I respect the grind. You have some conviction on this one. The deal's made. Are you sure this is your official team, the Minnesota Wild?
I'm going to say the Wild are not going to win the Cup. That's confirmed.
Okay. This is a dangerous combo with me and you picking sports because we pick on us believing something's happening, as in they're at their lake houses. They're doing this. They're at Fiji frats. But I think they win. I think these win. I think this is the analysis they don't want you to see and that Vegas doesn't factor in, and that's how you beat them at your own game.
Yeah, I agree. I don't even look at the stats. I'm looking at who, like I said, I'm looking at people's habits. Who is eating, a Chipotle bowl before the game, and they're going to be skating around like there's, peanut butter in their skates. It's going to be like they're skating in mud. That's what I meant to, refer to. I'm not really paying attention to stats at all. I'm looking at the intangibles. I think that's how you read in between the lines, and that's how you eventually, you come out on top. Like we're gonna on Saturday.
Listen, if I don't know if you've ever read Art of War by some guy. I don't know the guy's
Is that his name? Some guy.
Some guy. He's out.
I've heard of it. I haven't read it.
Sung Ji, Art of War. Me and you. I'm going to contact your people. We're writing a book called Art of Gambling, and it's not only about that. You got to pick the teams that have the young player. You got to do the stats that Vegas doesn't know. It's about how to beat a Saturday. It's going to have every single thing you need to destroy the books, which is mental too, because mentally you wake up Saturday, you're torched. You're torched. You are fried because your brain has deleted 20 Michelobs the night before and you still got to get up. It's going to teach you all this. So me and you were writing a book, The Art of Gambling. That's guaranteed. So pre-order right now. But I got one more thing for you before we close this out. We have a game that we play here on Pikkit Sports. It is called How Many Beers to Take This Bet? Do I need to explain this game, or do you understand the game?
Yeah, it sounds straightforward.
You'd be surprised. All right. So how many beers to take these bets? We got, I was about to say Ricky. How many beers to take these bets presented by Pikkit Sports? We got Rob Gucci, a.k.a. Heat Daddy, 69420. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. How many beers to bet that you could get a higher score on an ACT than Tua right now?
I could probably have around 12 beers and still get a higher score. No
So
disrespect.
maybe I said, but if the sports book had you versus Tua, ACT, now we remove you, how many beers would you have to bet? How many beers would you have to drink for you to bet on yourself?
How many beers would I have to bet? Okay.
Did I say this question right?
I'm saying I was saying I can get a higher score than him when I'm 12 beers deep. Is that the wrong
Wow.
answer?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's great. Yeah,
That's
so
what I was saying. And that's not
you
even
think
disrespect to
12
it.
beers.
That's disrespect to his offensive line because they're just letting that
Yeah.
guy get slaughtered. So, yeah, I don't know if I answered that right, but
No. Can I ask you what you did get on your ACT?
I actually only took the SAT, so I didn't. I opted out. Yeah, I didn't have to
Okay.
take both. My SAT was horrendous. It was like a 1540 or something. I barely got through it.
You're not a nerd. Congratulations, some would say. So, all right, next one. How many beers for you to bet the Utah Hockey Club to move back to Arizona, sign Austin Matthews, and win the Stanley Cup in your lifetime like God intended it to happen?
I'm gonna go with 0 beers because I'm gonna bring the team back. I am every weekend. I have a couple drinks and I text these people that I know that have a lot of money and I'm begging them for funding. And one of these days, you only got a full one. So one of these days, I'm gonna get that funding, and I'm gonna bring that team back. First thing, sign number 34. So I'm gonna go 0 beers. I think that's completely realistic in my lifetime, especially. So, and hey, if we hit this parlay on Saturday, maybe we can put some of that towards the fund. And hey, now we have ownership of an NHL hockey team. So I'm going to go with 0 beers because I fully believe that that's going to happen, and I think I'm going to do it.
Can I get a personal guarantee that if me and you hit this parlay, we will take half of it, go to Vegas, and put it on 34 sorry, we'll put all the money on 34 for Austin Matthews, and then we're going to take those winnings and we'll buy the Utah Hockey Club back, bring it back to Arizona.
Yeah. Ryan Smith is shaking in his boots right now. We're going to buy them out, and I'm sorry to tear the hearts away, tear the team away, tear the hearts up of the people of Utah because they're so happy. But yeah, that's a guarantee. I'm in.
This could be a legendary Saturday, let me tell you. Next one. Oh, how many beers for you to bet Austin Matthews to ever win a Stanley Cup?
Man, I hate to be boring and say 0, but I think he's going to win a cup. So It would take me, let's just give him a courtesy beer. Let's just say a couple beers because that's just going to happen. I think he's going to get one.
And how many beers for the Leafs to win a Stanley Cup?
Oh, geez. Probably about 20.
Wow. All right. So just a normal Friday for you?
Yeah, just a normal Friday. But he's going to win with the Coyotes when they come back. That's exactly what's going to happen.
After we bring him back. I like that. All right. How many beers for you to bet Ryan Reeves to beat Jason Kelsey in a fist fight?
Oh, man. Ryan Reeves is a big boy. It probably let's go 7.5 beers, over 7.5 beers for me to, because football guys are different. So let's just go 8 beers.
I was like, you're going to leave a fallen soldier?
Yeah, that's just disrespectful. That's just not what I'm about. I'm going to go 8 beers. Ryan Reeves is a big, but I was actually in a bathroom and Ryan Reeves is next to me, and I usually try not to look at the people next to me. This guy's like towering over me. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And I looked to my left and it was Ryan Reeves. I'm like, man, that's a scary looking dude. So he's tough, but like I said, football guys, they are built differently. So 8 beers.
How many beers deep would you have to be to fight Ryan Reeves?
I'd have to be like 35 beers deep to even consider it. Because I want to be numb when I'm just getting hit, and I want to not think about. I don't want to overthink it because I don't have health insurance, so I don't want to be thinking about, oh my god, like this medical bill is gonna be through the roof. So it's gonna have to be an outrageous amount of beer, probably like 35 over the course of an entire day and night. I can't down 35 in a night, but it's gonna have to be upwards of 35 beers for me to engage in something like that.
Thinking of your health care while 35 beers deep, that's responsible. I respect that. That's a good answer, honestly. And then last one for you. How many beers deep would you have to be to bet the Blackhawks to win the Stanley Cup this year?
The infinity beers. That's just, it's not going to happen. So I probably, I'm going to have to go with just at least, it's up there right there with the 30 beer mark. Let's just say 25 beers.
25 beers. Yeah. I think we could get you there. I think we could get a bet on the Blackhawks for you.
Yeah, it would have to be. I would have to be pretty drunk. Let's just put it that way. It'd have to get away with me. I might wake up the next day and regret that bet more than anything I've ever regret before on a Sunday.
Well, there you have it. That is how many beers presented by Pikkit Sports with Rob Gucci. Mr. Robert Gucci, we appreciate your time. You've been phenomenal. You've cooked us the most perfect parlay. You went Betty Crocker on us for this Thursday. We appreciate your time. And listen, I'm telling you, this parlay hits, the next video that comes out, me and Heat Daddy, we go to Vegas. All right? So that's going to be the next video. He's guaranteed it. I guarantee those picks probably, maybe could hit. His picks, surgical. No, nothing's missing. All right. You've heard our analysis. You know where we stand. You know how we pick. You tail it. You fade it. Either way, follow us on Pikkit Sports. Tail that parlay. Fade it. I don't care because it's hitting. But at the end of the day, thank you so much for this time. We appreciate it. And we get your Pikkit handle? Sorry.
It's Heat Daddy 69420. Let me just double check that. I'm pretty sure that's right. I have so many handles these days. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Heat Daddy. Yep, it's Heat Daddy 69420. Follow me on Pikkit. And yeah, thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Hey, real quick, Rob, can you actually give us just one quick motivational speech about getting to Friday this week? And they allowed it, and that's why we're placing this Saturday parlay. Just talk to the people.
Yeah, look, there's only one Friday a week, and it's a day where you can kind of let loose and have as much fun as possible. And they don't want us to have fun. They really don't. They want us to be miserable, and they want to take our hockey teams away from Arizona. They want to, they want us to doubt ourselves. And we're going to get to Friday, and we're undefeated. We have all the momentum. And if you ever think that they're gonna let it happen where we don't get there, you got to just stick your boots in the mud and realize that we're undefeated. So we're getting there. They're gonna be pissed off about it, hey, but you can't please everybody. So I can't wait.
Dude, this parlay's hitting. That was beautiful. Well, there you have it, Robert Gucci, everyone. We appreciate your time, Rob. We will have you on again after this hit. Thank you. And make sure to like and subscribe to the Pikkit Playbook for all your best plays on any sport possible with the best. I was about to say analogies with what is the word? Best analysis in the game for all the sports betting. Pikkit Playbook. Make sure to like and subscribe. There you go.